G'day, I'm Ben Kean, the founder and director of For Instant Sale by Owner. The question today is this: with the technology available to us all right now, why would you spend $24,000 to market and sell your property when a service like ours can do that for under $4,000? Right, so it sounds too good to be true. Well, it is true. We've built the system for you to do it, and we give you three options of how you might want to use it. One, you can do it yourself. Use our framework, use the system, we'll give you signs, we'll give you a Trade Me listing, and get your own campaign going. You run your own open homes and use the FiSBO complete selling system to sell your own house from $500. Number two, we create the listing for you, write the script, shoot the photos, create a virtual tour for you. Then you run the campaign, and we can do that from $2,000. Or three, a full service campaign where we do everything to the point of inducement: a sign, the script, the photos, a virtual tour with a real virtual tour, the open homes, the Trade Me listing, help with inspections midweek, and everything to the point of inducement. Then the buyers make their offer in the app, and that's $4,000 plus GST. Now, since 2020, we've had 10 successful campaigns, and we've proved the system works and how educated people how to make their bids and offers, and we've made a complete selling system. Right, so how does FiSBO actually work? So let's assume we're just running an open home, and either I'm doing it or you're doing it. If I'm doing it, I have to say that I'm not an agent and I'm not selling the property as the vendor is, and the vendor could be available to answer any nitty-gritty questions. Right, so the buyer says, right, I see it's advertised with a price, expressions of interest from $795,000. How do I go about making an offer on this property? Well, number one, it's an expression of interest or an invitation to treat. So it's not actually binding until there's an acceptance to accept an invitation or an expression of interest. So we just get that out of the way. So the buyer will log into the FiSBO web app, and they'll press the button that says Take Action. They will then fill out a web form that records all of their information: who they are, where they live, their ID, who their solicitor is, the conditions they want to include in their expression of interest, and then the dollar value of the offer as well. Okay, so they'll then submit that at the bottom, submission. The vendor can review that instantly, see the detail, who the buyer is, all that stuff. If they like the price, they can approve it. If they don't like the price, they can reject it. At the same time, before they approve, the app sends out notification to all other buyers that have been to the property to say we're calling interest. If you want to make an offer, you need to do so now. Now, this can happen at any stage after the first open home or as soon as the property goes online. It's no deadline or no auction date. So we're building fear of missing out right into the system from the get-go. Okay, the buyers know where they are, they know what price they can offer, or it has to be over that level, of course. Okay, so the offer goes in, calls interest, then the dollar value and the buyer number of that bid is displayed in the public listing, which means the buyers or any other buyer can see the dollar value. So they've got full transparency. They know if they're in or if they're out. So number one, if it's advertised with a price, the buyers know where they are from the get-go, as opposed to wasting their time with getting to bid on property that they can't really afford. No one likes that either. Right, so dollar value is displayed. A second offer comes in, same thing. The dollar value and the buyer numbers displayed in the app. So now we've got two buyers. A third buyer makes a bid. Again, the third offer is displayed with the buyer number. We've got three. Now the buyers can change their bid at any time, up or down. they can message the vendor and say, look, we've got a family, we've got this, we've got that, we want to do this, we want to do that. They can do that. Now the good thing here is it's fully transparent. Everybody knows where they are from the start. There's no guessing, there's no, not being used as fodder. And we've looked at other methods for sale in the market. An auction might be really good, but because you've got competition in the room, but you've only got unconditional buyers, which could limit the amount of buyers. In our system, we're allowing all buyers to make a bid, unconditional or unconditional, it's their choice. In a normal buy negotiation method an agent would use, when it goes to multi-offer, again, they've got no transparency into what's going on, no proof that there are other people, and no real proof of the other prices. So in our system, again, it's fully transparent. Everybody knows where they are. And that's great, because it means more buyers, and it means the price is generally more, which again is in the vendor's favour. Okay? So let's say all the buyers are now all exhausted, and the vendor's ready to approve. So they'll approve one, the bid they like, the party they like, whatever it might be. All the data is sent to the vendor's solicitor, and the vendor's solicitor will draft the agreement and keep all the parties safe, including the buyer. So the vendor's instruction to the solicitor, they draft the agreement, make sure it's kosher, sends it to the buyer's solicitor. The buyer's solicitor, gets instruction from the buyer that they're happy. They all sign it off, and now at that stage, it's like when an agent does it. An agent will get it under contract, send it to the solicitor does the rest. So once all the conditions have been satisfied, the solicitors will say, right, we're happy, we're unconditional. On the unconditional time, we can go back to the vendor and we can put up a sales sticker, and hooray, we're sold. And for a far less cost than what the traditional model is doing today. I think it's really important, because this gives more money to the vendor to spend on the next one, and it will save them money. And then the buyer is effectively not having to borrow more money to pay the agent, okay, which just doesn't seem right. In our model, it's about bringing the cost down, automating as much of the process with the available technology, and getting a deal done. That's enough of that. And if you want to learn more about how FiSBO works, download the ebook or watch a video series, and we can talk about all the ins and outs of real estate. See you all soon.